Welcome back, YouTube. Couple things done on the old sporty drag bike. We'll start with, this is a bracket I fabricated to mount the shifter button to shift it, air shifter. Not the prettiest thing, but some stuff I had laying around, got the job done. So, since nobody makes a switch under $130 for 1-inch Harley handlebars, this is, I think I had 50 some dollars in this button from MPS, Motorcycle Performance Specialties, which is who I used to buy all my import stuff from. So I just drilled a hole in it, made a bracket, boom, done. Did get the primary together on it. New clutches. Gotta put some oil in it so I can button that up, the derby cover, and then I still haven't ordered my air shifter yet. That's almost a $400 investment, so kind of saving my nickels and dimes before I can get that done. And I'm probably gonna mount something to these two bolts right here to mount the cylinder to hook to the air shifter. Anyway, I'll show you all that when I get it done. Took the wheel off, and I was actually gonna put, let's see, I'm trying to get ahead of myself here. Okay, so I have yet a second rear wheel that I got from a guy on Facebook Marketplace. Not really any lighter. It might be a pound or two lighter than that wire spoke rim. This here, I keep calling it a 98. It's actually a 97. Yeah, so this wheel come off of a 2001, which means this pilot hole here is way bigger than that old wheel. So my $100 sprocket won't fit this, and the rotor on the bike won't fit this wheel. So I'm probably gonna end up using that wheel. I'll buy a rotor for it. It's no big deal. Might even find something with holes in it lighter than the OEM anyway. Depending on how the bike responds to this gearing that we've put on here, which is a 50 on the back, and it's aluminum, quite a bit lighter than that old chrome steel one that was on there. If I need to make any changes to this gearing, then I'll order a sprocket for that 01 wheel. At least it's a black mag instead of this wire spoke grandpa looking stuff here. You can see I got chain guard on. The mount for the new pipe is on there. The other one stuck way back here for the drag pipes. I stashed it. I'm gonna hang on to it because I still have those guys right there. Now, believe it or not, I'm gonna try to peel. Well, it's not that big a deal. I'm gonna pull that wrap off of those, and I'm gonna put it on that 2-in-1 head pipe. I also have about, I don't know, 15 feet or so left in the box. Hopefully I can make that happen. What else we got here? I haven't ran the clutch cable yet because I was waiting to get the cylinders and exhaust on, because I think for some reason I'm going to have to come across. Instead of straight up this way, I'm going to have to come across and go through. It's a stock length clutch cable, but it seems like there's an awful lot of extra there, and I don't want to get it in the way of the dash that I want to build there. I'm probably going to anyway, but kind of goes where it goes. So where were we? Back here. While I had the wheel off, attempting to fit that other wheel, and digressing, and end up putting this one back on with the aluminum sprocket. Well, I had the brakes off, you can see these pads are pretty worn. So I ordered a set of brake pads for it. That'll complete that deal right there. I got a lot of adhesive and stuff to clean off where the reflectors were. I got to put some different bolts in the fender here and here because I took those chrome strut covers off. It's weight that I didn't need on the bike, and it's chrome, so bye. Gotta go. Not gonna lie, this primer just makes me sick, as shiny as it is. I can't hardly stand it. This bike and those front fork legs, because I have to buy a set. You can't get that chrome off of there with anything short of I don't know what. Anyway, by the time you grind it off of there, the fork's gonna look like shit anyway. So I get an old set of the clear coated aluminum ones, and I've done them before where you just hand sand the old clear off and you shoot them with this call it, let's see if I can find, here it is, Krylon Fusion. It's a satin. So I've used that stuff on a couple of sport bikes that I restored on the frames. This is what it looks like, and it's really durable, and it's a nice finish. So that eventually I'll come across a set of fork legs and I'll finish them in that, and likewise with the primary. That other primary that I had, after doing a little research, that thing there, this little crappy ass water. Apparently that is an old 4-speed primary cover. And I didn't want to get into dealing with this mess. So the way that thing goes in apart and all that, this didn't seem like what I needed to be getting involved in. So yeah, that chain guide ain't worth a shit either. It's wore out. That's my junk pile, by the way. That stuff's going to the garbage. Let's see. Getting some of this other stuff ready. I did get confirmation. My shipment from Hammer Performance will be here tomorrow. So, little cleaning. Here's push rod tube bases from Hammer Performance. Nice one-piece billet, so you don't. They're a lot more sturdy. They don't leak. The chrome push rod tubes. I scrubbed those up with an SOS pad. They had some rust and stuff on them. Head bolts. These rocker arms are roller tip rocker arms. These are not S&S roller rockers. These are Ultima. I'm trying to remember the name of that damn company that makes them. They come from overseas. They're $120 a set versus, I don't know, what is it, $500–600 a set for the S&S ones. They seem to be okay, but for as cheap as they are, I'm gonna purchase an extra set of these to keep in the toolbox in case I happen to break one of these. And it's probably likely. If these continue to be a problem, obviously I'll bite the bullet and buy the S&S ones. But I have several sets of OEM ones, and you know, it's not the end of the world if you can't run roller tip rockers. It really it helps make a difference, along with you can see the old Buell heads, the old Thunderstorm heads. Those pistons coming with my kit are custom 15-degree domes for these heads at 10.5 to 1. The new Beehive springs will be coming with titanium retainers, and springs are good for up to 600 lift, the new ones. I'm not getting anywhere near that. Let's see, the N4s, what, a 490? Actually, the cams I took out of the engine when I took it apart are the SE 497, so they're comparable to the N4. If I'd have known that's what was in there, I might not have bought the N4s, but just trying to stay ahead of the game. So I'm going to pull these out, take these heads apart. I'm going to touch up the seats with a little compound, lapping compound, and a whatever the hell that thing is I've had for 30 years. I'm gonna touch them up, make sure they're seated good, replace the valve stem seals, put the new high lift springs and the titanium retainers in the heads, and should be ready to get this top end together on this thing. At that point, I'm sure I've showed you guys all this stuff before, but I got the S&S intake manifold that I bought when I was trying to put a S&S carburetor on one of my other Sportsters, which some of y'all like them. I don't have any use for them. I've never, and I've worked on them for other people, and just it's a struggle, man, to get those things to run right. Some people swear by them. I swear at them. I don't like them. Yeah, I like a Mikuni. It's a Japanese carburetor on a Harley, blah, blah, blah. But guess what? The flat slide HSR, whatever you want to call it, is a very good performance carburetor. Track proven for decades. And I like them. So I did leave. That engine had chrome, let's see, it had all chrome rocker boxes and covers and all that. So I'm going to keep the rocker boxes themselves. I'm going to leave that chrome, because what I've done was painted this stuff black. So it'll have a little strip of chrome. You'll have that little strip of chrome on each head, and then you'll have the chrome pushrod tubes. There's a little accent stuff doesn't bother me. Just big giant pieces of chrome like that primary over there bother me. But I don't think I got anything else to cover other than, you know, like I said, I got this all back together, chain guard on it. All that works out pretty good, which was originally a belt guard, and I don't know if I mentioned before or not, but it used to have a portion that curved down right here to help keep stones from getting caught by the pulley and then pulled around. It also had a black plastic piece bolted to the bottom of the swing arm to keep stones off keep the pulley from grabbing little stones and wearing it out. So you see there's where the passenger pegs used to mount, and I gotta find a banjo bolt with no switch in it to replace that with. I don't need a brake light switch, so, but she's coming along. Like I said, hopefully in about a week, be a few more weeks before I can order the air shifter and the lithium ion battery, which only weighs a few pounds instead of being really heavy. In the spirit of trying to save some weight on this bike, obviously the chrome battery cover that went on this, threw that away. I do have the strap that goes around and holds it. Unfortunately, it's chrome, but I can take a flap disc to that and knock it down, and just like I did that chain or pulley belt guard, and paint it black, so that does away with that mess. There'll be probably a solid week's worth of wiring to do on this. That once I get everything installed, I got to take all the individual wiring instructions and put together my own wiring blueprint for the bike, how I want to wire it. I may share that with you guys, so if you're interested in seeing that kind of thing, drop a comment. This is how I've always wired all my race bikes. I'll take you know, like the coils, the ignition, the switches, how I want to, you know, do everything right down to the tail light on-off switch. I basically will draw out a wiring diagram that I can follow when I wire this together. I'm going to try to salvage a lot of connectors and stuff, because, like, for instance, right down here is the wire to energize the solenoid to engage the starter. So I'm going to go through that harness I cut off the bike, and I'm going to salvage that, factory plug, because I know it'll stay in there secure. I've never heard of one coming undone. So it'll stay secure. I'm going to utilize, like, this is your, it was the turn signals, I think. No, that would have been just the tail light. You got your brake, your running light, and your ground, I think. Anyway, I'm going to try to reuse a lot of this stuff. Just makes for a neater install. Obviously, don't put your bike together with butt splice connectors. Learn how to solder, use heat shrink, and try to use some nice quality plugs where you can, if you're going to be taking things apart, so you can disconnect them without hacking and butching the wiring all the time. So I gotta make a panel for this out of some Lexan or something and just glue it in there, paint it black on the back side, just like tinted whatever, cover that up. Because I'm gonna end up cutting probably a lot of this out of here, because I'm gonna try to mount my air bottle down under this dash, and probably the air bottle and the I think I got some room right in there. I could put the air compressor, mount the air compressor in here. Well, it's going to have an onboard compressor to pump the air up. I'd like to have it as close to the bottle as possible, but if I can't fit them both in there, which I don't know, I might be able to. I might be able to just mount that thing on the side of the, I don't know, I'll figure it out. But I got way ahead of myself on this thing, fellas. It's not a stock, go to the races, dirt cheap bike. Couldn't help myself. Things I wanted to do later down the road, I ended up doing most of it now. So, I don't know. Maybe we'll pick up I definitely want to pick up a second bike at some point so I can build an all-out, probably with some kind of a Buell or sport bike front end on it, all aluminum, lightweight, and definitely stretch it way out and try to buy, if I can find a deal on some of those BST carbon fiber rims. Those are about the lightest thing you can possibly get. And put a slider clutch in it on, like, say, a 90-inch motor. It should be a lot of fun to ride that. But obviously that'll take quite a bit of money and some time, so that might be a year or two down the road before I even get a good start on something like that. But this one's going to do it for now. I will update you all when I get some more of this stuff done, or even in the process of getting it done. Like I said, if anybody wants to learn any of that wiring diagram stuff, just drop a comment. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Appreciate your support, and thanks, y'all. Have a good evening.